Kevin and Steve, founders of Bombers and Sleeves, a clothing and lifestyle brand dedicated to artists, writers, musicians, anyone currently on a creative journey, or anyone looking to start a creative path of their own. Our goal with this company and our BombCast is to give you tangible, practical results that allow you to win the internal war of creative pursuit. And we sum that up in 3 words, and those 3 words are bomb your boundaries. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's think about it. What has more concentrated, focused, explosive energy than a bomb? Not that much fucking else. And so we use that as a metaphor to say if you want your dreams to come true, if you want your creative vision to come through, you have to get intense, focused, and explosive. And so with this BombCast, we bring you guests that embody that bomb your boundaries mentality. And today's guest is no exception to that. As always, I'm going to hand it over to Steve to introduce him. Let's get to it.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going? All right, so the first time we heard about our next guest was actually through a previous BombCast with our guest, Cassandra Sotos. And I remember her telling Kevin and I, you've got to come check out this band. They are just pure rock and roll. They're the real thing. And they have this buzz around town. They're like, man, you got to check them. They're killing it. So crazy enough, the next week, Kevin and I were doing Rockin' Pod. And I remember our guest came to our table and bought a shirt from us, and he says, "I'm going to wear this shirt tonight at my gig." And I was like, "Yeah, let's. Okay, yeah, right." And you know what? This motherfucker did, and he killed it. And it was so cool seeing it was the Golden Warrior shirt, which is available online at bombersandsleeves.com. It was so cool seeing that under the stage lights and just having that infused with just some pure rock and roll. Since then, Kevin and I have seen this band multiple times, and guys, they are the real deal. They fucking crush. It's so great to have awesome rock and roll here in Nashville. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the lead singer of the band. The band is True Villains, and we've got Beau Lastavich with us. So, welcome him in.
What is up?
What's up, brother?
What's up, dude?
Welcome in, man. Thank you for coming down. Appreciate your time, as always. So, yeah, man, I purposely didn't do a lot of research on you because I just wanted to kind of open the floor and kind of hear your whole story for the first time here, because I know we've talked a couple times when we've been out to shows and all that stuff. But I'm just curious, man, like how you got to this point. You're from Minnesota originally, correct?
Yep.
And then so just take us back, like what first like sparked your drive to become a musician?
All right. So when I was a kid and I was growing up, my grandma would always play the piano. When we go up to their cabin, she would let us like fiddle around with it sometimes. And eventually, they got us like a clavinova plug-in. So me and my sister started taking lessons. But I was definitely always way more into it than she was, because I would learn my songs and then I would learn her songs too, but I would learn them better than she learned her own song.
Nice.
So I was just like super into it. All I would do is go home. But then I got a guitar eventually, and I ended up liking that more because I could do more like music that I actually liked listening to. And then I had like grown up on a lot of 90s country music, like Alan Jackson and Brooks and Dunn's and stuff like that. And then I got a Motley Crue CD for the first time, and I like had listened to that over and over again. I was like, man, this is what I want to do.
Nice.
Wow.
This is
Do you remember
it.
what record?
It was actually just like one of the compilation ones,
Yeah.
like Motley Crue's Greatest Hits. It was just like one that my dad had. And yeah.
Decade of Decadence, or
Yeah,
something like
it was-
that. Yeah.
It was the one with the caricatures
That's
on the
greatest
front.
hits.
Yeah.
Greatest
Yes,
Hits
yeah.
one.
Yep. That was after Decadence.
Yeah, so I heard that and I was like, man, this is what I want to play. And I started like going through his CDs and trying to find other stuff like that. And he just like gave me a bunch of other, classic rock stuff. And I would listen to it, and then I'd bring it to my guitar teacher and I'd be like, teach me how to play this. Teach me how to play this. And
Nice.
yeah, it was all about
And you
it.
just go home and learn that and sing over top of it?
No, I wouldn't sing at all. I would just play guitar and rock out. And
Nice. Dude.
and then my teacher would like have me and my sister, because she was taking lessons too. he like did little shows in town. He was kind of like a one-man band guy.
Yeah.
So he had us come out, and me and my sister would get to play, like, we'd do a song with them, and I could play a guitar solo or something, and then my sister would get to play the next song, or
Nice, dude.
we would just go up and play with him.
That's awesome.
Just like easy, simple stuff, like Simple Man, or Take the Money and Run, or Every Rose Has Its Thorn, stuff like that.
Yeah, very cool. All the easy. So you didn't start out as a singer?
Oh no, I was a guitar
okay.
player.
When did singing develop for you?
It was when
Weird.
I got into my first band, and it was just, I got like really lucky, and there was these two dudes at my school that were super badasses. They were like way many levels above me. As a drummer, Devin Tomczyk, and then a guitar player named Jake Long, and they kind of like opened up my world to other music too. Like I had never heard Pantera, or Alice in Chains, or Metallica, or like the stuff that was a little heavier, and so we kind of started jamming together in the garage, just us three, no bass or anything like that. And I was the one that could like kind of sing on key, so I just got like pushed into it to be the singer. And we would just cover like some like simple classic rock stuff that didn't have any range. It was all like lower stuff, like Living After Midnight, or some like lower key Def Leppard and Poison and stuff like that, like the more just normal range vocals. And then my roommate now, who lives down here with me, he was going to high school with us. We forced him to play bass because he wanted to join the band. I was like, we already have 2 guitar players, so you have to play the bass.
That seems to be the instrument you're always looking to fill. Like, where are we going to find a bass player? Because nobody wants to play bass.
Nope.
You know?
They're just forced into it most of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
There's maybe like 0.5% of bass players that actually love playing bass.
But how badass does a band, and like how a really great bass player can make a band sound so much better. Doug McKagan from Guns N' Roses. I mean, Nikki Sixx, obviously, but like nobody. It's funny. It's one of the instruments that nobody wants to play. But when you really nail it, God, does it just boost a band?
You appreciate it more when you get older and you start to learn more about music and
For sure.
stuff. It's not something you appreciate as much in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely, man. But if you, I'm thinking like Jason Newsted too, like all the like early Metallica stuff, man. Really like
When they didn't let him actually be on the album.
right.
So important.
Live, he was pretty badass though. Definitely not so much on that.
So you're singing in these like low kind of registers, but I mean, we've seen you live, and I mean, you have this incredible range. When did you develop that?
The first time I remember doing it, I was just, because I would like listen to a lot of that music all the time. Like I was listening to like Tesla and AC/DC and all that kind of stuff. And there was one day when I was just like vacuuming and I was like listening to AC/DC and I was like singing along, and then I like did this thing and I was accidentally like using my head voice, but I didn't really know how I did it. I just kept doing it over and over again. And then at our next like band practice when my friends came over, I was just like, all right, next time I think the first thing we did was we learned Slave to the Grind by Skid Row.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know that song, but there's like one part in it where I would like use my head voice. So it was like the first time that I ever used it. And it's like, it's towards the end of the song, but it's like another high scream thing. And then we played that song a little bit. And then the next time I was like, go home and learn Paradise City. And I'm going to figure out how to do this. And so then we came back to practice. And we started like playing through it, and my voice like kept cracking, like it wasn't doing like what I wanted it to do.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything then about like warming up or like doing it. I just knew that I could do this thing, and if I just kept doing it, I would figure it out. And then, like after a couple practices, then I just like started figuring out and got better at it. And then we just like we actually go out and play live on the weekends sometimes, and we just kept like our catalog becoming more of that classic rock stuff, and I was like just forcing myself to do it, and then I just like became part of my thing, and I just like learned how to use that part of my voice better, and learning how to like flow those two voices together, like your chest voice and your head voice, and interchanging with all the music that we did, which is a lot of like the hair metal stuff, but also we did a lot of thrash and stuff too, because the drummer and the guitar player, they were super into like Testament, Megadeth, Pantera.
Yeah.
We would play a lot of like stuff that you wouldn't hear other cover bands play, like more like deeper cuts.
Yeah.
Instead too.
Yeah. What is your warm up, if you don't mind me asking? Like, do you warm up before shows? Like when you go on, is there a certain method that you use?
Yeah, I mean, especially now, doing like so many Broadway shifts, I always use this one on YouTube that's just called like 10-minute vocal warm-up. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I would just, do like this thing and yawning a lot because that stretches your throat. And then practicing screams and stuff like that. I don't know.
Shit.
Nice, dude. So how long of a window are we talking here, like when you first started singing to where you are today?
I feel like I started becoming a singer probably like 10 years ago. That was when they like made me be the guy that was gonna sing.
Yeah.
Because it was when I was in high school. I was like a sophomore in high school when I think I started playing out.
Okay.
Maybe I was 15. I was 16, 15. It was like 10 years ago.
Nice.
And then just been developing ever since then, like different types of music, different styles of singing. And I'm always like still learning and getting better at using my range and using my voice in different ways and just doing different kinds of music.
Yeah.
Like whether it's, I mean, obviously I'm more of a rock singer, but trying to like do some pop stuff, even that has higher vocals, like the old Maroon 5 stuff from Songs About Jane and all that kind of stuff. Where,
Great album.
yeah.
Nice, dude. So, like, when was the turning point that you knew you wanted to move to Nashville? Did you have like a pretty good band going in Minnesota and something happened there? Like, what brought you out of there?
I had already gone through quite a few bands before then moving here, but the last one that I was with was a band called Ivy Stone. It was 3 guys out of North Carolina and me. And it was we were probably the Greta Van Fleet before Greta Van Fleet came along. Very
Nice.
I mean, we covered so many Zeppelin songs, and our songs were very jammy. And we had recorded a lot of songs, and we were constantly putting out music. We were touring a lot. We actually just like lived in my truck and toured out of that all the time. It was just me and 3 other dudes, so we could like make it work.
Yeah.
And we just like lived on the road a lot. It was really fun.
And just use the majority backline.
We would bring our own stuff with. I had a trailer that we
Oh,
would
nice,
pull
nice.
behind there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had like saved my money to buy this truck and buy this trailer, so we could just like go tour around and play.
Nice.
And then I kind of realized that like it just like wasn't gonna work. Like no matter, we played so much, played a lot of cool clubs, had a lot of fun. But I needed to go somewhere where I could like meet people that could actually help us. And so I came down here on vacation with 2 of the guys from that band, and then 2 of my friends from Minnesota. And only me and then my roommate Trey, who was the bass player we forced to play bass in that high school band.
Yep.
And now is my roommate down here who lives here and still bass player.
Oh, sweet.
Hell yeah.
He was the only one that made the move with me. So we both came down here and figured out, and I left the other band because they didn't want to move. They ended up going back to school, and I'm just like a little bit older than them too. So I don't know, they got to do their thing, and I was going to do my thing. I didn't have time to wait. So then I found True Villains on Craigslist.
Nice, dude. Okay, that was gonna be my next question. Like,
Craigslist.
so they just had an ad like, "Hey, looking for badass rock singer."
Yeah, I mean, I was willing to move anywhere. I was honestly like looking in other cities too. Like I would look in Los Angeles and Seattle and Texas, Austin, and Nashville. And I was just looking for a good one. But I'd already seen Nashville, so I already knew that I wanted to move down here. So yeah, I found the ad. And I've just always had really good luck on Craigslist. I found like so many good jobs or good bands or good paying things on Craigslist.
Crazy, dude. What's
I
the
have
secret?
great luck with it. I don't know, man.
I've had the opposite.
I feel like people.
this is
Yeah,
fucking
I always get
I feel like I'm the
burned.
only one, and I get awesome stuff off of Craigslist. I'm like a really lucky person. I just have. I don't know. I just have really good luck. All my friends say that too. Like I always fall into really good things somehow.
Nice, dude. Has it always been like that?
I don't know. I guess
Nice,
so.
dude.
It sounds like the universe has your back, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Do good things. Good things happen.
I
There
like
you go,
that.
man.
I like
I
that.
like that too.
It reminds me of a story with Josh Topp from Buck Cherry. After he left the band the first time, he answered an ad on Craigslist and ended up it was a bunch of early 20-something kids. He was already had a multi-platinum rock record, and he answered an ad, showed up, and came out with "You Made Me," which is one of my favorite like rock records of all time. It's a solo project, but answered it on Craigslist, and then I mean, shit, there is success in that. I think that's fucking badass. That's
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. So let's go back to like that first kind of taste of you're in your truck, you're 3 guys, that taste of road life. Like, what was that like? I'm sure you've got some stories.
It was fun. I mean, I would plan stuff in advance using like Indie on the Move and stuff like that to try to hook up shows or like bands that were passing through. Like I just spent a lot of time in there. Like I wasn't working any. I'd planned on quitting my job like once we did this first tour, and I already had a bunch of connections from other festivals that I'd played. So I was trying to use all those connections. So like our first tour, we actually did a lot of really cool stuff. Like we went and played at Rocklahoma in Oklahoma
nice,
through an old contact. We played up at Halfway Jam, which is this other festival in Minnesota. We played at Rockfest in Cadott, Wisconsin, which is another cool festival. And then we just hit a bunch of other states. We went out for Sturgis
Oh, nice.
and played for that bike week like 2 years. Yeah, honestly, it was like the best time of my life, just like living on the truck, because every day was an adventure. We would get to cities and we weren't really planned anything. We would just figure out it as we were going, and we would never book a hotel or anything in advance. We would mostly just hope we'd meet someone at the show and they'd let us crash at their house, and it always worked out. Like,
Yeah.
it just always worked out. And
That's the rock and roll.
if you just like
yeah.
don't worry about things, it just happens. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's always cool people around, and if we didn't meet anybody or we were on our way somewhere else, we would just drive the truck a little ways, pull over to like a truck stop, and just fall asleep, and it was awesome.
That's awesome, man. What was your home life like, man? How did you grow up? Were your parents like supportive of you being a musician, or did they want you to like do the college route, do that whole thing? Like, what influence do they play like in your path?
No, they were super supportive, because right when I started in high school and I started my band, and my dad, one of my grandparents was the ones that gave me the guitar and that piano before, and then my dad giving me all those CDs, and then my dad went out and like got a PA system, learned how to do sound, and we would like do our first shows together and all that stuff.
Nice.
Like, and then my mom would make all kinds of goodies for all my friends and like my bandmates when they'd come over. We would have the after party at my parents' house.
Dude, that's
Because they would
awesome,
just
man.
like cook tons of good food, and
That's
they
how
had
you ate.
they had a hot tub and a pool there, so we would just, my friends would come over after, and we would just eat snacks and
Yeah,
hang out.
that's awesome, dude.
And my dad like still does all that stuff too, and my mom, like when I go home and we'll do a show every once in a while, or when I used to be there before I moved here, do the same thing. So his production has grown by a lot. It's like this huge setup that he has, but it's just for me.
Really?
Oh,
So it just
man.
sits in the garage, and if I come and play a show once a year, it's still like there.
That's rad, dude. That's very
That's
cool.
so cool.
So it's kind of sucks that we don't get to do this stuff anymore, but hopefully one day.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll like retire, and then we'll be on the road, and he can just come and do his sound for us.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
That'd be cool.
That's awesome, man.
My mom will just have to come make snacks.
Hey, man, that's an important role. Dude.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
that shit.
Need
And
snacks.
that support too is really important too when you're trying to pursue.
Oh yeah. I mean, I did go to college too, because I felt like they just like wanted me to go, and I went for my 4 years, and then immediately after that, I actually didn't even walk at my graduation. I left to go meet those guys in Ivy Stone band. Like the day after I graduated, I flew down there and we recorded an EP, because we had just been sending stuff online back and forth.
Yeah.
So like right after I was done with school, I was like, okay, I'm out of here, and I went and flew to North Carolina, and we recorded our first EP.
Nice, dude.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, man. What did you study in school?
I actually went for music for a while.
Yeah.
And I was going for singing, but it was like the classical style thing. And I was like, man, this is not my jam at all. And so then I ended up going for communication studies. So I was like, I minored in music.
Nice.
So I was really like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I was still playing in a band in college, and that was like my first taste of like doing original music too, was in that band in college. Like, we were kind of like a college party band, so we would play at like the big club that was downtown, and all our friends would come out, and party. And then we started doing our own music, and we opened up for a couple acts. But then it was like I was still in school, same with the bass player Trey,
Yeah.
and the drummer was ready to go somewhere else, so he moved to Vegas, and the guitar player left to go join another band, and that kind of fell apart. And then I found Ivy Stone right after I graduated.
Cool. Yeah, and that's who you were with right before you
yeah.
moved out here, right?
Yep,
Okay.
correct.
Nice. Sounds good. Awesome, man. So a lot of what we try to, I guess, I don't want to say teach, because that's the wrong word. What we're trying to like help people out with is like they maybe have a creative path in mind, or they're like wanting to take that leap, or they're feeling stuck in like a day job or something like that after leaving a creative career and trying to get back into it. So what I like to ask is like, what for you like has kept you going, when you, let's say, we're like broke in the truck and like coming out here. I mean, is it just like faith and like the dream alone, or like what steps have you taken to be like, no man, I can make this happen, and I'm going to make this happen?
I just know that it has to happen, because otherwise there's like no point to my life almost.
Dude,
It's like,
yes.
this
Yeah.
is like the only option. If that doesn't happen, then I don't really know. It would just be depressing. I would just be depressed all the time.
No, 100%, man.
It's
I
like,
think, yeah,
because I have a regular job too, but like every day when I'm there, I'm just like, I can't do this forever.
right.
Yeah.
I know that, like, me and the drummer Matt, we've talked about that all the time. Like, if there's nothing to look forward to and you just gotta like work, I don't know how people just. I mean, I'm not like saying something in offense to people that just like work a regular job, but like I can't do that.
No, 100%, man. I
There
think
like
that's
needs to
when
be
you know.
something else. There's got to be something
Yeah.
more than that.
Yes, yeah. It
And if
can't-
like you don't, I mean, some people have their own thing that maybe they do at home or like a creative outlet of some kind.
Yep.
And so I need to have that outlet.
100%, dude. And I think that's when you know, like you're destined for it, man. It's not going to be an option, right? It's not going to be like, if you can let it go, then it was never for you,
Yeah,
right?
no.
You can try to let it go and take a complete like left-hand turn and go do the most corporate of corporate jobs, dude. But it's going to come back and it's going to fuck you up if you don't listen to it and, you know, at least hone it or develop it in some type of way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, having that dream, having that goal and that vision, especially when it comes to a creative outlet, like it's like breathing, and without it, you're really not living at all. So I've definitely understand. That's beautiful.
So in True Villains, man, I'm like really impressed at how you guys, it's very rare that you find a band that's trying to do their own thing as like writing original songs and then also thriving in the Broadway scene doing the cover gigs too. What was that kind of, did you have any influence over that, or was that always kind of their drive and direction to have a foot in both worlds?
No, we just kind of fell into it. I mean, the True Villains basically started because the other kind, I mean, we all do it now, but everyone wanted to do less of a sideman thing and do our own thing. Where, I mean, I've always, mostly the other guys, because they were doing so much country music and stuff, it's just like, oh, they're actually like dudes that want to play rock music, so let's play rock music and have our own original project. And we all have made money on the side playing with other people. I mean, we still do that, but we're doing it less and less now because we're playing together as a band, which is what we want to do so that our schedules open up so that we can be together more, writing more, doing more together, and making money together, which is the whole point of like having this band.
Right.
So it works out, like doing the Broadway scene. We want to do some more corporate events through that. And it can help you travel too, like doing some of the tin roof circuits, or like this club in San Diego. One of the booking guys just was out here, so he wants to fly us out there to play some shows. Which would let us, like, you know, we can go wander in LA and play an original show if we want to.
Yeah.
It's like, it allows you to have more routing dates, but also have money to, you know, stay on the road and put money in the tank. There's tons of bands, you know, bands start out doing cover songs, and that's how you like develop what you're doing more, and you just get tighter as a band too.
Totally.
Does playing the cover songs like down on Broadway, like so you're playing hits, you're playing like giant anthemic choruses that every person, you know, down there knows, and they're singing them back to you. Does that have an effect on your songwriting with True Villains when it comes to maybe structure, a formula, or does it really not matter?
No, I don't think it really does at all. I mean, just the same things that we kind of always think, like, don't have a song that's too long. I mean, we naturally want to write. I mean, we're not like trying to write hits, but like just like the way that we write is just like how we want to sound. Like we want to sound like a straight up rock band, but I want it to be catchy too, because we all like pop music and stuff like that. So like, it doesn't have to be like some weird complex stuff. It can just be like simple, straight up rock, but still be authentic.
I definitely hear that when we see you live. It just sounds like you guys are playing who you are.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, we're not trying to like do anything.
Yeah. Because I think that
Like,
has the opposite effect too. If some people that do the Broadway thing, like you're used to playing these songs that are structured in a certain way. Well, we've got 30 seconds. We got to get to the chorus. Like that, you know.
No, we're not
know,
rushing anything.
Exactly,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Let's just feel it. That's the true rock and roll way, and we're just gonna play how we want it. That's awesome, and that's very evident with you guys. Like seeing you live, it's awesome.
And just like being in more of a group effort than like a one person writing thing. You know, you're taking everybody's like what they listen to into account. Like Tim loves Metallica, but I am not gonna sing like that because I like Metallica too, but I'm a singer, not like a yeller.
Right, yeah.
So I'm gonna do like what I do on top of whatever Tim's doing. And
What is the songwriting process for you guys?
mostly coming up with like riffs, like somebody will have an idea, like some kind of riff, and then just jamming and building off of that. And then I just like start singing a melody that I think is cool, and then I'll write the lyrics after I have like a melody that works. And sometimes we'll change up the chords, like if I'm like, oh yeah, I don't think there's like enough melody that can go with this, or I can't think of one, so we need to change this or that about it. Or Matt'll have like a beat that's cool, and he'll like hum a little melody or something and make Tim play it on guitar.
Yeah.
So what's in store for you guys next? I know, have you just gotten out of the studio or you're in the studio currently?
We were just doing some songs in the studio, but now we're not really doing anything with them again.
Yeah.
So we haven't released any music in a long time because we have this ongoing process of going in the studio, recording songs, and then it being flushed down the toilet, and we start over again. This is like our third time now. So many songs we've recorded so many times. But we have a new producer that we are going to be working with, and so that's probably what's gonna be released eventually. It's like the timing has to be right, and the people that are behind us have to be right, because when we hit it, we want to like hit it hard.
Yeah, you're trying to make this go somewhere, obviously.
So
right?
we want like now I think that we have like the best of the best people like backing us. We just have to have the product there so that they can deliver this product to whoever it needs to go to.
Yeah, and those people backing you, did you seek them out or did they seek you?
No, they just were people that came to shows and liked us and believed in what we were doing.
Nice.
Like the first was the people who are helping do our management right now. Came and saw us one time at Exit In early on, and then they just kept coming back to shows and like seeing us grow, and just like giving friendly advice, and then just became more. And then this other guy came and saw us, and he does like publishing at CSAC, and he's the one that brought the producer that we're going to be working with now to that show we played at Tin Roof that you guys were just at.
Yeah.
We did as a 4-piece. Greg wasn't there, unfortunately. But he ended up bringing out this producer who then heard us play live, really liked us, so we did like a little showcase thing for him, and now we are working on putting together some dates to go into his studio, record a couple songs, and have that together for gathering more people, like booking agent and I don't know, maybe a label, maybe, I don't know.
Nice.
Kind of just depends on what we feel like doing.
Sure, absolutely.
Or what's comfortable.
And so these songs that like wound up getting flushed down the toilet, was it just not there, or is it just like
yeah, it's not the songs like we flushed down the toilet. We're still gonna use some of these songs probably. I mean, some of them probably never see the light of day, but others will. And yeah, it just like wasn't like we had another producer that was gonna help us out with pitching for booking agents, labels and stuff, but as we were recording, it just wasn't turning out the way that we wanted it to. It didn't like sound as good as we sound live, and just like wasn't captured, it wasn't there. And so we just kind of parted ways with that, and then we went in the studio again to do these other 3 songs, and we were getting them mixed, but then this new producer came along, so now it's like, oh, we're just moving on again.
I get it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
It's kind of confusing. It's been a really long process. It's literally been over a year.
Yeah, no, I get that, man. It's got to be. I understand, man. If it's gonna be released and it's even just an inch off of what you know is gonna work, then what's the point of pushing it and getting it out there?
It's just like something else keeps coming along too. That's changes the plan. The plan is something else, or somebody comes along and the plan changes, and then the plan changes.
Yeah,
and we're not trying to let anybody have like too much control, but it's like things that we believe too.
Yeah. 100%.
And so far, like now that we're at this point where we are with these people that are helping us, like I think this was the best option. That like the best things are happening right now.
Yeah. Are you like a big goal setter by nature? Like you're mapping out like where you want to go, what you want to do, or are you kind of like taking the opportunities as they come and then just like being in the moment more?
Yeah, I'd say more taking them as they come. I only like small steps I plan out. Like in my phone, I'm always like writing out like new ideas for stuff, like putting together shows or how we can try and make more money doing the Broadway thing, or new songs to learn. new like merch to get. I don't know, just like coming up with different ideas.
For sure, yeah. And what's your approach to like networking on that Broadway circuit, to like kind of getting those more shows and stuff like that? Are you like trying to develop relationships with like the different bar owners and stuff like that, or what does that look like?
We're pretty set with the ones we have right now. I'm honestly trying not to get any more shows than what we have.
Yeah.
And because all of us still do side stuff. And I've been going like too hard to the point where like I end up getting sick because I'm not sleeping enough because I'm working too much.
Right, yeah.
So we're already set in what we're doing. I mean, I still like always going out and networking, like going and watching other people's shows. Like I'm probably going to go to a show tonight after this.
Nice.
I'm going to meet up with a friend that's here from North Carolina. And we're going to go to a show that actually all the guys in True Villains, except for me, are playing as a backing band for this girl right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's great. Yeah, I've heard that about you, that you will go out and you're a networker, man. Like you're always want to be seen. Mutual friend of ours had told me that when I first met him, and I think that's badass, and I think it's very necessary, especially.
I feel like that's why our following is also like how it is because
Yep.
like everybody just goes out and supports everybody. It's not like a cutthroat thing where you're like, if I make it, then nobody's gonna make it, or if he
Right.
makes it, then I'm
Right.
not gonna make it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. You show up, you
Yeah.
show support, and then people will come and support you as well.
My schedule just keeps getting busier and busier, so it gets harder to like do it. Especially with us playing on Broadway now all these nights a week, and like me picking up other like tomorrow I picked up another shift at Kid Rocks.
Okay.
So and then we're trying to make time for practicing at night, and yeah, it just gets
So
harder.
you'll go on and sing like.
And then I got to work. I still work a regular job Monday through Friday.
Do you really, dude? What
I
time do
really
you
do.
start and what time do you
That's
get
what
off?
I mean.
That like blows my mind, dude.
It's random.
When's the last
So
time-
there are some times when I just like I'll sleep for 2 hours.
I was gonna say, when's the last time you had a nice, just say, 8 hours sleep?
Well, I did this weekend because I was supposed to play at Kid Rocks, but they accidentally double booked us.
Yeah.
So I got paid to go home. So
So you got to break. There
I
you
went
go.
home and I went
Okay.
to sleep, and then we had the daylight savings time.
Oh, add that a
yeah, so you
shower.
gotta
Yes!
yeah, nice.
That's what I was really
Good.
like. That is priceless. Having
Right,
an
right.
extra hour.
Yeah. No,
It's
dude.
everything.
That's all I could ask for.
That sounds like an honest recharge, a well-deserved recharge.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have to like show up at an office for your other job, or is it like flexible with like?
No,
What industry is it
I
in?
build stuff, like
Build-
build closets. I
Okay,
call it
cool.
advanced IKEA.
Advanced
Okay.
IKEA.
Okay, cool.
Nice, dude.
So I actually did like real carpentry type stuff before. So then
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
this job and I was like, this is cake.
Cool, cool. So you is that for someone else or is that your own company?
No, it's a small like family owned company here in Nashville.
Okay, cool, man.
And I just kind of do that for extra money for band stuff and health insurance.
yeah.
and
Yeah,
because
of
I
course.
just like hustling.
No, and that's like the one thing that's been the biggest theme, man. Like the most like people that are like catching some good momentum with like their creative success. Like the past guests on here have all had that same thing in common, man. They just hustle their fucking face off like there's no tomorrow,
That's what
dude.
you gotta do.
And that's what we do with the clothing line too, man. We all have like
every day.
I have a full family plus 2 jobs plus this plus all that stuff. So I don't think it ends, man. And I don't think it should end. Like why? I think you ride off of that momentum and it's fun. And honestly, yeah, I think that's where the luck comes from. I don't feel like we've been unlucky. I feel like we've been pretty lucky considering where we're at. Considering we only started back in February, so I think same thing too, man. Saying you're lucky, like that luck. There is a X factor to being lucky, but then B, you're around, like you're to have that luck show up for you, right? And so that just duly noted for anyone
Put
out
yourself
there.
out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And even as success grows, that hustle and that work, it doesn't leave. It actually adds. It's more and more. But then you just find that balance of it. You just enjoy it because that's just life now, and it's good. It's good to be. It seems like you're staying hungry, man. And you're just in it to win it. And fuck, man. I mean, you guys are shit. I'll be honest with you, man. Like everyone I know that knows you and everyone that knows your band fucking loves it, and they always have nice things to say about you, and that's great. It's amazing because you get around, you hustle, and everyone's like, dude, that guy's fucking awesome, and he's always showing up to shit. Hey, that's great because there's a lot of people in this town that won't do that. They are a little bit biased about their own sound. They're like, I ain't gonna go to that show. I like that you go out and you support it. That's very important, and it's easy to do, but it's also very hard to do Not a lot of people want to put in that time and effort.
No, sometimes you just want to stay at home and
Fuck yeah, you do.
go to bed or
Maybe get that extra
Totally,
hour of
dude.
sleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you never know who he's gonna be around, man. So I respect that.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
Absolutely.
just fall into stuff, meet people. Everybody knows somebody. Every time I do something, it just connects and intertwines, and that's how you get more gigs. That's how you get more connections. You just got to do it.
When we first moved here, I think I remember telling Kevin this. It was told to me that if you know 7 people in Nashville, you know everybody. 'Cause everybody is connected.
I believe that.
Not
And
anymore.
well, I don't think it's been kind of losing that, but then recently I think it's getting back to that. It just depends on where you're going. I think it is true. I think if you it might be like 15 people now, but yeah, eventually it all comes back, and the circles are kind of the same. So.
No, it's true, man. I dropped off a hat because, like, anyone local that buys something online, like every once in a while, like I'll just drop it off to them in person. Because since we're so new, it's one thing if we have like 100 orders a day, like then I'm not going to do hand deliveries. But if it's just one, every other day or something like that, then I'll take it to them. Because want to see face, like they always have another story to tell about like what they like about our brand and things like that, and you can kind of make connections that way. But this particular person, her boyfriend works out of the East Side Manor over in East Nashville, and we as a band shot our first music video there like 3 years ago. So it's just crazy to like have it come full circle like that, because she presented it as like this thing that not a lot of people know about, and you're like, oh no, we've spent a lot of time there. So that's cool, man. Are there any artists out there right now, like on the Broadway scene, that like you have your eye on that like?
I mean, Broadway's just covers, so.
Totally, yeah. But like in terms of like a talent standpoint, are you seeing anyone out there that you're like, oh shit, I like?
I mean, definitely Chris Ferrara has, even though, I mean, I'm not like a big country guy, but he's got a really great show. I mean, he knows how to put on a show.
Yeah.
He's got like good songs. He knows how to like write a good story or a good like line. Eric Perrion, which both of these people are actually playing a show with us in November because I'm putting on the show, and I was just kind of choosing like people that I really like or for their music. I mean, as people too. Eric Perrion, he's probably got like the best voice that I've heard in town. He's an amazing singer, super good, and more like soulful, but he has like amazing control. Best singer in town for sure. And then this guy named Seth Cook, he's like a really good pop artist. Definitely go see him live. His live show is really good. His songs are awesome.
Nice.
I would say Seth Cook, best songs. Chris Ferrara, best show. Eric Perrion, best voice.
Nice.
This guy knows.
Dude, that's
Didn't even
awesome.
think
I know,
about
that's
it.
why I asked. I was like,
Yeah, you know.
I was like,
That's good.
For the men, anyways. That's the men's edition one.
No, for sure. Because I've been wanting to get
The
out
men's
more. So,
edition.
That's the men's edition.
yeah.
Dig that.
So I wanted to know what the next wave is coming up, because unfortunately I don't get to get out to a lot of shows. So I'm just I like to know what's what, man.
I think that's crazy.
I'm sure there's
Go
tons
ahead.
of people that I haven't seen still, so
Sure.
I like really
Oh,
have
God.
no idea.
No,
I'm
sure.
Oh,
sure
yeah.
there's-
But yeah.
And
yeah.
those are all like people that don't even play rock music. Those are
Oh, exactly.
pop,
This is just
soul, one's kind of country. Like those aren't even the
sticking to
rock
the hits.
people.
Let me ask you this, because I've always been curious. Like when you do the cover band circuits, what is your least fucking favorite song that they make you play, and what is the one song that you're like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I can get into this shit.
I mean, they don't make us play anything.
They don't make
necessarily.
you, but like like it's on the list. You have to do it.
Because we honestly we play way more rock stuff, and people like give us $20 requests for Sons of Rock shit. Like last weekend we played at Nudies, and we got like $20 requests to play Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh shit!
And like we played some Journey. Not even Don't Stop. We played Dee-doo, 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 dee-doo,
Oh,
dee-doo, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum.
Someday Love Will Find You.
Yeah,
Separate ways.
Separate ways.
Separate ways.
Just like I can't even think. Yeah, it was separate
Yeah.
ways. Just like a bunch of like cool, fun stuff like that. We always
That's
play
badass.
like we'll play like War Pigs in there. That's the song.
Nice,
If we want
dude.
people to leave the bar, we play War Pigs.
Fuck yeah!
So we'll like end with that when we're like, all right,
I
it's time for you people
love
to go home.
that.
But like the true people that actually like,
Yes.
Awesome, dude.
those are the people that stick around. Those are the ones that we know.
So wait,
They
I
know
can
what's
go.
up.
I can go to Broadway and check out your set, and I might be able to hear War Pigs on Broadway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some War Pigs.
That's awesome.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of least favorite, but no, there's always one song too.
You're like,
That's on
this
the
one fucking again? Jesus. Wagon?
Want to dance with somebody?
See, I've actually only played Wagon Wheel one time.
Good
And
for
I didn't
you.
even I didn't even get $20. I think this girl just bought us some drinks, and she was so nice, and they had been there for so long. I was like, all right, we'll play some Wagon Wheel for you.
Fine,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
dude.
And
I'll fuck with you.
I haven't heard the song enough to even know how it goes. I had to have them help me sing it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's how far away I am from Wagon Wheel. I'm far,
Wow.
far away.
Respect.
That's good to know, though. That's good to know because I would think, and Kev did the Broadway circuit for a little bit, and like I would think you'd have to know so many fucking like country song after country song, but like that's still cool. You can fucking do it and just be like, but you as a musician,
It depends on what you play in the beginning, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if you start out playing, like we start out, you know, playing some rock songs, and if they don't like rock, they're going to be leaving the bar. So the people that actually like what you're playing are going to stick around. And they're not
Yeah.
going to be the people that are requesting you to play Luke Bryant or any of that stuff. Like, they're going to want to hear more rock.
Yeah.
So you kind of like
Yeah.
weed out the people that don't want that, and then when they hear like other people,
well, the next time someone requests Wagon Wheel, just hit them with some War Pigs, and then let's just see how that goes.
actually, my favorite song to play on Broadway is right now is "1,000 Miles" by Vanessa Carlton.
Oh, you're just talking to
Yo.
the right dude.
That's
right
my
I'm
favorite
a
one right there to
VC
play right
champion.
Yeah.
I'm a VC champion, man. Her sophomore record, Harmonium, don't even get me started. It's actually fucking fantastic.
I just like playing it because people don't expect it. I honestly don't know
Yeah.
a bunch of her music. I just
Yeah.
love playing that song because people
Well,
don't
she's
expect
brilliant.
it. And we kind of like do like
She
a
really
heavier
is, yeah.
version of it.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it's such a good song that any version you could play would be.
Yeah.
A hit.
Dude, I could hear that being a good, heavier song, especially with like the lead, that lead hook in there.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songwriters was Stephen Jenkins from Third Eye Blind, and he was dating Vanessa during her sophomore record, Harmonium, and wrote pretty much or co-wrote every single song,
Wow.
and Pharrell produced it. It was,
Man, now I really feel like I should check that
dude,
out.
it's so fucking
It actually is
dope,
really
man.
good,
It's
dude.
really
It is
dope.
really good.
It's really dope. She lives up in East Nashville.
Really?
Yeah, she's here now, man. She'll pop around like 5 Spot and do a couple songs and stuff. Yeah, she's not hard to find.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. She's here. Michelle Branch is here. They could do like a whole.
Kid Rock was downtown this weekend at that club.
I saw
That was-
it on
that
your
was
really?
supposed to play.
story. You got to hang with him a little bit.
He was quite intoxicated.
I bet.
Well,
I
if
mean, you're at your own bar. You drink for free. You
Yeah,
do
no
whatever you
shit,
want.
dude.
it'd be disrespectful if he wasn't.
That's such a cool setup in there, man. How the stage is like elevated like that. That's got to feel so fucking rad to play up there.
That's like a real stage. Like you're putting on a show with the
Yeah.
staircase and the two
Yeah.
levels to the stage, and like them having the upper balcony on the floor.
yeah.
It's like a great one to play too, because that stage is like made for making money.
Yeah.
For band, like everyone wants to play on that stage because that's where you're gonna make money.
That's awesome.
That's awesome,
I've never been in.
What?
I've never
Dude,
been
it's
in. Yeah,
fun,
I gotta
man.
get in. I gotta get in.
Really? I thought you were there that one night that we went to like watch some game at the rooftop. I went back through. I don't know. We should go, dude. It's a lot of fun. It's
Okay.
a lot of fun. Forgive my ignorance. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
I was gonna talk more about. I was gonna say I've been to Old Red. Old Red. That's
So,
about.
yeah,
That's
Old
about the
Red.
only place I've been.
Well, sorry if this is a ignorant question because I don't really know, but it seems like you guys are like leading the rock charge around Nashville, right? Like kind of changing the tide into like making it more accessible for rock bands to like get on Broadway. Am I wrong with that?
I don't know.
Is
And
that
don't be-
I mean, I don't know many other.
I don't
there are
know many
definitely
other
other-
bands that are doing it like you guys.
I mean, we still play a lot of the Broadway classics and stuff, but we're like an actual rock band. So I would say that maybe we I'm not trying to like poop on other bands down there, but we're like tighter than a lot of bands down there because we actually play together all the time.
Yeah.
Like we're like a real band. Like you can kind of tell that we're not just like looking at each other and met each other that night and figuring out if we can all play Last Dance with Mary Jane or something.
Right,
you know?
Right.
Yes.
We actually like play together as a band, and we have our regular set, and then we play. A lot of the other bands that do the rock thing, I mean, there are definitely bands doing rock at Kid Rocks, and they're like cover bands that play together all the time, so they're really good too. Then the only other rock I hear is sometimes at like Big Shots. They'll have a band there, and they play some like cool songs. They'll do some like metal stuff, like Pantera and
That's cool.
all that.
That's awesome, dude.
So there's some rock happening down there.
Yeah. That's good.
You guys excite me because I like just seeing your show. I remember the show I saw at Exit In, and I was talking before the show, and you're like, I got like a fog machine. And I was like, hell yeah, fog machine. I haven't seen a fog machine in years. And when that thing was happening, my wife and I were there. We were just like, that's such a cool element. And it added so much.
Oh, yeah.
It was so badass. And you don't see that. When I first moved here, the rock, there was about one rock band that everyone went and saw, and they were called Luna Halo. Okay. And two of the guys in that band are now very successful songwriters here in town, but they don't do it anymore. Maybe they get together once in a while, but now it seems like you guys are taking the torch and are leading the pack and bringing that fresh rock back to Nash, man. And when Cassandra presented your band to us, I got excited, and Kev got real excited because we just don't see it too much here, and it's here. It's definitely here, and it's fucking exciting to see you guys do it, man.
Thanks.
Hell yeah.
There's definitely other rock bands in town, but they're like leading their own thing. You know, like Denman does like the very 80s shred metal thing. The Tip, who has been around for a long time too, they more do like this. It's more like punk, straight up punk rock though. Man, who else is there? There's other bands that are doing the same, but in different styles. You know. Different genres of rock.
Yeah. You guys are definitely, though, just word on the street. You're the band to see, man. You're the rock band to see.
We're trying.
Hell yeah.
I think 2020 will be like a big year for us.
For sure, man. It's feeling like it's going to be a good year all around. So I heard a rumor last night that Exit In's closing down. I hope that's not true. Is it?
Really?
Yeah, but then I tried to find stuff online to confirm it, and it wasn't true.
It went off on its own. It's no longer like the people that it used to be part of Marathon Music Works, and it was owners that shared it, and now Exit has its own separate entity. So they were supposed to get a new booking agent that was only doing stuff for Exit In. Man, what was there? The last time when we played there, the sound guy was telling us that there was some thing going through. Man, what was it about? I don't know if it was about like there be a cutoff on what time the music ends on certain nights, or man, I wish I remember what this guy was trying to say, but it was something that would have killed Exit In if it got passed, basically. Yeah. So maybe it did get passed, maybe it didn't, or they were going to build something over there. I can't remember.
This particular dude thought it was like the Gwar show coming up in a couple days. It was like the last show, and it's going to be torn down for apartment buildings. He could have been completely full of shit, and I really hope he is, because that would suck.
Oh, I hope he's full of shit.
Yeah, because that would really suck. But
remember when something else being built? I don't know.
No. I hope. We'll have to wait and see.
I did not hear that it was being closed. They were just fighting back on something.
Yeah, well, I'm duct taping myself to a wrecking ball if that happens. It's like, you cannot lose Exit In, dude. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, and that's it's sad because we've been here a pretty long time, and seeing those rock clubs that just close, man. There's no more Rutledge anymore. I don't know if 12th and Porter is 12th and Porter still a thing.
It's still open, but they don't. You have to like rent the room out to use the room. It's not like just like an open thing. It's more like people do showcases there.
They do showcases, and they do a lot of catering and stuff. Yeah, it's not the old school kind of.
Yeah,
I've never been to a real show there. I'd only been to a showcase there.
Dude, when they left it open, we had our best shows there, man. It was fucking
that was our home ground, man.
Room, dude.
I wish it was still open, because that's right down the road from my house too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of good shows there. Remember we snuck into Fuel?
We did. That was fucking sick, dude.
Illegally.
Oh my God, it was badass, man. They're a great band live.
I've never seen
really great. Too far away.
Hemorrhage, man. Hemorrhage. Don't get me started. So at this point of the conversation, we do like to ask our guests one question, and it's the slogan of our brand, and it's bomb your boundaries, and we like to ask what that means to you. So anything that comes off the top of your head or out of your heart is cool, man. So no pressure, but what does bomb your boundaries mean to you?
Gotta risk it to get the biscuit.
Yo,
there it is.
I don't know. I feel like that's what that sounds like. You just got to put it all out there, otherwise you'll never know. But I don't know. I feel like that also means like being authentic to what you're doing, like even if it's not going with what everything. Like this is obviously country music. That's what people think when they think of Nashville. Most of the time they like don't know, but then they get here and see that there's all that kinds of things. And you just got to do your own thing, like how they say like girls can smell, or they can smell fear. Like, you know, have you heard that? People say girls can smell fear.
Yeah.
Well, I like regular people, or you can just like smell authenticity or see it, I guess. You know, when somebody's like, when you go to a show, like you almost like know when they're like doing it for them, or if they're just doing it to like try to make money.
Totally.
You know, I don't know. I feel like people
see
see.
that a
I feel
lot.
I feel like people see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great answer, man.
Smelling it.
He is smelling it.
It's very pungent. What's the haunting
Well, hopefully,
aroma?
hopefully you
this-
smelled that with us. That's why you bought something. I
You
hope
guys,
so.
this mic smells nice compared to the one on the one on Broadway at Nudies this weekend.
Oh my
the
God.
talkback mic we had, it smelled like shit. It was
Oh.
awful. Like every time I went to talk in the mic, I was like, oh my God,
I'm gonna get hepatitis.
I'm gonna get herpes from this
Yeah.
microphone.
Of just people's fucking gingivitis, saliva being spit on it fucking night after night. No thanks. Food from last Christmas. Yikes.
Food from Risk it for the biscuit, folks. You heard it live on the
That's right.
BombCast.
We're gonna.
I love that.
That's definitely a good way to go out.
Hell yeah.
Well, guys, as always, I hope you got value out of that. We covered a lot of different things, man. Beau definitely gave you some good little nuggets of knowledge on how to kind of advance your career, how he's gotten to the point where he's at now, and how he sustains. The biggest thing I took away from this is just the you're out there, man. You're not afraid to put yourself out there, and you always, you keep the momentum going. You're not afraid of hard work, man. And I think that's, becoming a common theme, like I said earlier, and I think it's really important. What was your kind of like biggest takeaway?
Besides risk it for the biscuit, I love that you seem like a person just talking to you, but like you live this, like you live that dream. It's like breathing to you. Like you're very authentic, and you do this because you honestly, you just can't breathe without doing it. And it's nice to know people like that. It's nice to surround yourself with people like that. And I think everybody who's on the creative path, you need to surround yourself with people more like you. You know, find people who just can't do it. That have to do it every day, just to fucking simply breathe. That's amazing. It starts with that, man, and it's very powerful.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge you for being like a real like cool dude, man. The first time you come up, man, you just have a cool style and vibe to you, man. You're very laid back, personable, like authentic. So that's rad, dude. Like you just seem like a cool dude. So thanks for like giving us your time.
The more friends, the better.
That's it.
For sure, dude. Yeah.
We appreciate you rocking the bomber stuff, man. We really do.
Yes, thank you. I liked your guys. I just liked your guys like I don't know, just like the look of the artwork on it. I was like looking for some shirts more like that. I mean,
Yeah.
because it is like, maybe your guys' brand is more rock and roll. I
Yes,
guess. I would say.
100%. Yeah.
And I was just looking for some more clothes that has that kind of thing, but not like shirts that everyone has. So also that you guys like aren't super known, so people aren't. I can't like no, there's not a ton of people that are like wearing these shirts or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they kind of have that old school, like even like motorcycle artwork
yeah.
kind of thing. That's like the vibe that I got from like rock, motorcycle,
Yeah.
club.
Yep.
Tattoo,
rock,
punk rock,
yeah, like that kind of
100%,
vibe.
man. Yeah.
You nailed it, man.
You definitely nailed it, dude. Yeah, and that's funny too, man, because I wrestled back and forth with that. We're actually at a good phase right now because we're in like the underground, like no one knows about you, and that has a cool factor of its own.
Yeah,
It's like you
it's been
get too
exciting.
big, you can like, we're gonna do our fucking level best to always keep that, man. No matter how big it gets, man. I think there's ways to retain your authenticity. Just like,
Yeah, that was just
yeah, I mean, there really is, man. Same with True Villains, dude. Let's say, you're packing out fucking Wembley Arena or whatever, dude. There's still ways to like maintain like the authenticity that it was born out of, so.
So people, I feel like that's how people have cult followings too, and stuff
Yeah.
like that, or like
Yeah.
how like even rock or anything to do with rock, like those people that are fans of rock music, or they're like a lot of them are diehard like fans for life.
Totally.
Other genres, I feel like they don't have that as much. They like listen to something, they pass on, they find something else. But like
Yeah.
rock people are just they're like they're diehard.
It's
Yeah,
a different animal of fans,
Yeah.
and they're just unique, one of a kind, man.
Well, it's because everyone shares that common thread of like authenticity, man. We all fucking despise fake bullshit for plastic fucking, hollow pursuits. So, yeah, I totally get it, man.
Real quick before we go, I just want to know, what's your favorite rock album of all time? Just gonna put you on the spot.
Mm.
What do you got? What do you got? If pressed.
Man.
Deserted island, you have one rock album to take with you.
Damn.
You can listen to it every day.
It's hard for
I didn't think about this enough. Can I go with that first? That Molly Kruger hits album?
Yeah, you can.
Totally, dude.
I mean,
You
that's
can.
not my favorite. I don't know, man. I just go through so many phases where I listen to
Right.
different styles of rock or bands.
Okay.
Yeah, man. A
We'll go
world,
with it.
a
We'll
world
go with
without
Crew
Primal
hits.
Scream is a rough world, man.
Yeah. Primal's my jam.
Okay, fine. So, what's your favorite Crew song?
I
Then?
feel like I gotta think through this so much. I don't know. I like that so much shit. I like some of their.
Totally, man. I know it's a fucking impossible question.
It's all over the board.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
They're not even my
rhetorical.
favorite. My favorite song to like listen to, especially with the video, is "In a Darkened Room" by Skid Row.
Wow, yeah, man.
interesting. You're a
like
big
that.
Skid Row fan, man. I don't know a lot of
Sebastian.
shit.
They weren't
from
here
them.
not too long ago. Did you go see them? I think they were at
Skid Row was.
Skid Row.
Oh, it was Sebastian.
Oh, it was
was
just
here with his
Sebastian.
band.
Yeah,
I mean, I would have, not in any. It's not for me anymore. But like, they're
Yeah.
in their heyday.
Oh yeah.
Like watching some of those live videos and stuff. He was
dude.
a badass singer.
I'm a
Fuck
monkey
yeah, dude.
business
Oh,
type dude.
When I was
Right.
talking about my high school band, we totally played that song too. That was one that
Monkey
we did.
Business. Oh, so good. Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, we thank you, man. We thank you for coming on here, brother.
Thanks for having me.
has
Yeah,
been
no,
nice.
thank
It's
you,
fun.
man. As always, if you guys got value out of this, go to iTunes and rate and review. I checked it out today, and we're up to 5 whole ratings out of like a ton of you that listen to this. So
Yeah.
if you can, I know it's a pain in the ass, but just click the stars, write us a little review. It's all good. We are up to 2 written reviews, which is cool.
Yeah.
But both are genuine and good. So anyway, it really helps us out. If you're enjoying this stuff, let us know. If you're not, let us know too. We'll make the tweaks, but I think this is pretty fucking cool shit. So we're going to keep it going. Actually, regardless if no one listens, we're going to keep doing this. Pretend like they do. Thank you guys. What do you leave them with?
Well, just thanks again to our guest, Beau Lastavich from True Villains. Y'all, do yourself the favor and check them out. Check them out here live in Nashville. Check them out online. I think Cut Me Loose is available on Spotify. Is that right?
Yep, our really old EP.
Check out
It's
that
still up
old
there.
EP. It's still good, man.
It'll probably be taken
is.
down in not that long. So
Okay.
it'll be disappear and those songs will be lost.
Get it while it's hot then, y'all. So
Yeah.
thank y'all again.
Where can people find you online? Sorry, go ahead and plug all that.
Yeah, Spotify, iTunes, Instagram, Facebook, Christian Mingle,
Christian Mingle.
Farmers Only.
RedTube,
Red Tube.
all that stuff.
I thought that was you. Well, thank you again, brother. We appreciate it. And thank you guys for listening. And as always, bomb your boundaries, baby.